Well, hello there, all you gorgeous people of the internet. Welcome back to the Fernando Alonso career mode, currently in 8th position with 73 World Championship points, equal with Pierre Gasly in the Haas car. Okay then, it's time to move on. We were at Singapore, now we're going to Russia for the next round of the championship. Yes, indeedy, Mr. McGreedy. So as you can see from our little overview of messages, we are at the Sochi circuit, and the weather forecast from Jeff is pretty good, I have to say. Our development update means we are doing pretty damn well indeed. Fantastic. Thank you, Carl. Thank you very much indeed. So let's go out for our qualifying run. At the moment, I was just about to say Sergio Perez, but now it's Kimi Räikkönen. The Iceman himself is going to pole position in, of course, at Alfa Romeo. At the moment, Alonso is in 9th position, but now Lando Norris has got pole. But let's see what time Fernando can pull in as he just goes around the last corner now. And it's going to be... it's pole position at the moment. Pole position for Fernando Alonso. Wowzers. Anyway, a little bit later into the qualifying session, you can see with just 2 minutes and 38 seconds left, Hamilton predictably has got pole position. And Fernando Alonso is currently in 6th place, just in front of Lucas Weber. Yes, Lucas Weber, and behind Romain Grosjean. Let's see if he can improve on that qualifying performance. He's just about to cross the line now, and no, it's not. It's still 6th place for Fernando Alonso. So let's have a look and see if that's going to be the final placing as he's just about to go round now. The checkered flag has come out for the end of qualifying. Hamilton's got it with pole position, and Fernando Alonso is going to end up in 7th place, 7th position for the race. Okay, let's go now to the final grid order before we go to the race. As you can see, in first place, of course, it was Lewis Hamilton. 2nd place for Valtteri Bottas. 3rd position for Romain Grosjean. 4th place for Sebastian Vettel. 5th position for Lucas Weber. 6th for Fernando Alonso. 7th for Carlos Sainz. 8th for Max Verstappen. 9th for Lando Norris. 10th for Kimi Räikkönen. 11th for Kevin Magnussen. 12th for Sergio Perez. 13th for Pierre Gasly. 14th for Devon Butler. 15th for Alexander. I've lost it. I've bloody well lost it. Anyway, it's time for us to formate on the grid as we always do. So let's do that now, shall we? Let's formate on the grid, and it's soon be time for the lights to go out now. And once again, the 5 lights will go out, and Fernando Alonso will be go from his 6th position starting place, and it's away he goes. From 6th place, we've got Lucas Weber in, of course, the Alfa Romeo just off the left of us, but Sebastian Vettel is directly in front of us as we go to the first turn. This is always very, very taut and tight to us. Oh, I didn't get that right at all, did I? Anyway, into the next turn, you can see we are still 3 abreast now, and now look at this, Fernando Alonso, he sends it in there, he's up into 3rd position already. And of course our Renault car just behind Lewis Hamilton, who has lost a place from the start. He was in the lead of this race, but now he's lost it down to 2nd place. His teammate Valtteri Bottas has now got in front of him. Oh dear, Lulu, oh dear indeed. What has happened to you? Anyway, we've got a little warning there for corner cutting for Fernando Alonso, but that's okay because, of course, the corners are very, very wide at the Sochi circuit, so it's very, very difficult to try and maintain your line anyway. So we're still holding on to 3rd position. Sebastian Vettel in the Ferrari is currently directly behind us, right up our derriere, and we're still chasing Lewis Hamilton as we go past a very, very ugly building off the left there. You see all the multicolours on that building? That was very, very ugly indeed. You need to sort that out, Russia. Sort that out, please. We don't want any of these ugly colours. None of these ugly colours. Thank you very much. Anyway, so here we go. Still on lap 1. Still chasing the 2 Mercedes drivers, of course. Now, of course, this Renault is way down in the performance stakes compared to both of those Mercedes. In fact, I think we're 3rd from the bottom in the development table. So the fact that Fernando Alonso is keeping pace with these Mercedes is absolutely fantastic once again from Fernando. Yes, absolutely fantastic. So we are almost reaching the end of the season as we're just about to cross the line now and start lap 2. Valtteri Bottas has put the fastest lap in, of course, and Hamilton is still close behind. So yes, it's almost the end of the season, and it'll soon be time for us to change cars again. Yes, change cars again. And of course, we will be changing to what car? What car will we be changing to, everyone? Well, of course, if you know your Fernando Alonso history, you will know that the next team he went to after Renault was, of course, McLaren in 2007. Yes, it has to be said, as Sebastian Vettel gets very, very close to the back of Fernando Alonso there. I think he's going to do a run down the inside of him. Yes, he does. But Fernando Alonso, I think he's going to cover him off as he goes around the corner. Yes, he does. So he's still holding on to this position at the moment. Wowzers, this is going to get very, very tight. Those Fernando's now got the tighter line to the inside, but Fernando goes around the outside, and he doesn't know, he loses the place. He's lost the place to Sebastian Vettel, as you can see. So Fernando Alonso is down 1 position on the 2nd lap of this Grand Prix. Wowzers. Well, it's to be expected because the Ferrari also is way up the development table compared with this Renault. Yes, anyway, in 2007, Fernando Alonso, of course, went to McLaren, and I have to say it was quite a disastrous year. It was also the same year, of course, that Lewis Hamilton started his World Championship campaign. And it was just a complete and total disaster. And in the end, unfortunately, Fernando Alonso left the team after just 1 year with his tail firmly tucked between his legs and went back to Renault, of course. Yes, back to Renault for the 2008 and the 2009, was it 2009 season? I think it was anyway. Yes, so there you go. Anyway, as you can see, just about to complete lap 2, and Fernando Alonso sort of went for a dive there on Sebastian Vettel, just coming around the corner, but didn't quite get that right, and that's allowed Romain Grosjean in the Red Bull, and we've got a warning for a collision with Grosjean there, and Verstappen both go past Fernando Alonso under DRS. You can see they've both got the flaps open. But now I think Fernando Alonso is going to sneak down the inside of both of them. Yes, he does, but he goes very, very wide on the exit, but he manages to hold it together, does he? Yes, he does. So he's still in 4th position at the moment on lap 3 of this Grand Prix. Yes, 4th position. Anyway, as I was saying, yes, so it was quite a disastrous year for Fernando Alonso. There was quite a lot of controversy, including that famous pit stop during qualifying when he actually held Lewis up and Lewis couldn't put a faster time in. But they're all best buds now. They're all best buds, apparently. I mean, I don't believe it, but apparently they're all best buds. But of course, Lewis Hamilton said that he would race with Fernando again at any time. But of course, he's gone now, so that's not going to happen, is it? Because Fernando's now doing IndyCar again, something or other. I'm not quite sure. I see a lot of dissension in the ranks between a lot of the public now and Fernando Alonso for some reason. Yes, his popularity seems to be waning, and seems to be quite a bit of criticism coming in now. Anyway, as I say that, Maxi Boy Verstappen under DRS managing to get past Fernando Alonso, but he's going to have to tighter line into this next corner, and he manages to, there's contact with Maxi Boy, and once again he's trying desperately to hold on. He's trying desperately, but does he do it? Yes, he does. So still holding to 4th position at the moment on lap 3. He's right in the middle. I thought he was in the middle of a Ferrari sandwich, but that other car behind is Lucas Weber, of course, in the Alfa Romeo. It's a very, very similar livery, or should I say it's red, just like the Ferrari is, with little white bits in it. Yes, little white bits in it. Anyway, it's time to accelerate forward now from lap 4, and still on lap 4, a little bit later into the lap though, and as you can see, Fernando Alonso goes very, very wide there, and that allows for Weber in, of course, the Alfa Romeo to try and sneak around the outside, but Fernando Alonso is going to hold this line superbly once again, and he's holding on to this 4th position on lap 4. Yes, lap 4, but once again the car behind is trying to get past Fernando. There's actually 4 cars behind Fernando trying to get past him, but he still holds on valiantly to this 4th position in, of course, the Renault. This is now lap 6 of the Grand Prix, lap 6, and Sebastian Vettel still the car ahead, and now we've got that Alfa Romeo once again of Lucas Weber goes past on the DRS as the sparks go flying all in Fernando Alonso's face, but he doesn't worry about that because, of course, he's got a crash over to stop that. But he manages to hold on once again to this 4th position on lap 6 now of this Grand Prix. So it looks like some good, decent points, but of course we've still got the pit stop to go, and that, of course, tells us exactly what's going to happen towards the last part of the race, because usually Fernando has a few problems in the pit stops, and he usually loses positions. Yes, loses positions. Anyway, up to lap 7 now, lap 7, and once again this Alfa Romeo of Lucas Weber is trying to get past Fernando Alonso, but he's still valiantly holding on to his 4th place at the moment. But look at this, wheel-to-wheel action once again, wheel-to-wheel, and he goes to the inside, and Fernando Alonso has to go out wide onto the sort of apex there a little bit, but he's holding on still to this 4th place. As I say, it's very, very wide at the Russia circuit, very, very wide indeed. So you've got plenty of opportunity to overtake, but you've also got plenty of opportunity to defend as well. Anyway, this is now lap 9. Teammate is in the pits, so he's now, I think he's going to make a few positions up, is he? I don't know, I'm not quite sure. I think he has. No, he hasn't actually, because Bottas has gone in and come out ahead of Fernando Alonso, and he's under real pressure now. Oh, he bins it, almost bins it, as you can see. But he manages to hold on to this 4th place. Valtteri Bottas, the car in front now in the Mercedes. Can he get past me? He hasn't come through his pit stop yet, so all this is pretty academic, but he goes for a move down the inside of Valtteri Bottas, gets the place off him, so up into 3rd place, but as I say, he's still got to come into the pits, so he's going to lose quite a few positions, because Valtteri Bottas has come into the pits and come out again, and he was still ahead of Fernando Alonso. Yes, anyway, we accelerate forward now, still on lap 9, and he almost overshoots the pit lane there, almost overshoots, but he manages to get in for his pit stop. So of course he's going to lose a huge amount of positions now. Let's have a look at the mini-map and see where everyone is. Well, he's going to lose about 3 or 4 places, I do believe. I don't know though, I think those cars are coming in as well. Oh no, disaster! They put a new wing on. Fernando Alonso has forgotten to untick the box to say to the team mechanics not to bother with a new wing. So that's a disaster. So that's going to be a, I think, 7 or 8 second change for, yes, it was 7.792 second change for Fernando Alonso. So he's lost a huge amount of positions there. He rejoins in 9th, but I'm not quite sure the rest of the field aren't going to go past before he gets out of the pits. Yes, down to 12th position now for Fernando Alonso, just behind Lucas Weber once again, and ahead of Sergio Perez. Well, he was, but there's Sergio Perez just going past him as he rejoins now from the pit lane. And he's in 13th place, which is unlucky for some, but he's desperately trying to get past this Racing Point car of Sergio Perez. We're about to go find this very, very tight left-hander, very, very tight indeed. And can he get past Perez? I'm not quite sure. He's going very, very late on the brakes, and yes, he does. So he's up into 12th place now, but behind Lucas Weber. So no points as we accelerate forward out to lap 12 of the Grand Prix. You can see he's managed to catch up to the cars in front as Lucas Weber and Charles Leclerc, both under DRS. But can he get past now? I think he's got to run on them. Yes, he's got DRS himself, but very, very little ERS. But he goes, oh, look at this. Charles Leclerc, oh my goodness, torpedo from Fernando Alonso. But he gets through. Well, I say that, but Charles Leclerc has now sneaked around the outside of him. And in fact, Lucas Weber has as well. But he manages to hold on from Weber. So up into 10th position now. Charles Leclerc still in 9th place in that Ferrari. Just one more lap of this Grand Prix to go. Can he get past Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari? Well, I'd have to say at the moment, I don't think so. I think it's a little bit too much for him. And of course, this Renault car, and he's still defending from Lucas Weber, who is directly behind, and he gets past once again. So he's down to 11th. He's now out of the World Championship points on lap 12. It's Fernando Alonso, but can he get past? And of course, Lucas Weber is actually on the hard tyre as well, and Fernando Alonso is on the medium, so he should have the advantage. But of course, this Renault car hasn't quite got the pace in the development. I think the Alfa Romeo may be ahead of us as well. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure if we look that up. Anyway, just about to go into the last lap, and Fernando Alonso sends it in there. He sends it in there to try and get past Lucas Weber once again, but he just goes around the outside. He's doing the switchback on Lucas Weber, going to the inside line, and yes, he manages to get past him. So up into the points once again. Just one single solitary World Championship point for Fernando Alonso on lap 12. Just going to the last lap of the race now, and as you can see, Lewis Hamilton has won the race on the last lap. He's won it, and it looks like Fernando Alonso is going to hang on by his fingernails to one single solitary World Championship point. Yes, one single solitary World Championship points. He's about to cross the line now in 10th position, ahead of Weber, but behind Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. As the checkered flag comes out now, just round the final corner, and Fernando Alonso crosses the line in first place.
That's the end of the race.
Fantastic. Did I say first place? I meant 10th position. Oh god. Anyway, onto the podium now. There is Toto Wolff. Toto Wolff, the Terminator. He does look very, very young, doesn't he, in F1 2019? I think they need to sort that out. I'm sure he's not that young. And there's Lulu, the race winner. And there's the team mechanics congratulating themselves like they always do. Well done, lads. Well done indeed. Yes, indeed. And there is Pierre Gasly, who finished in 7th position. In the Husk car. Yes, in the Husk car. There's Lulu. Up on the top step. Once again. What a result. It's time to spray the champagne over everyone. Once again, here he goes. Go on, Lulu. Get it all over those officials and your team mechanic there. I think he's sitting there, standing there with the trophy. Get it all over him. No, he's not going to bother. Just going to spray it all over the crowd, because that's what Lulu likes. Is to spray himself all over the crowd. So after that round, you can see Fernando Alonso is still in 8th position with 74 World Championship points, ahead of Daniel Ricciardo, though, who's in 17th place with only 6 points. Wowzers. Absolute wowzers. Let's go to the Constructors now and see exactly where we are in the Constructors Championship. And we're in 9th position in that Renault with 47 World Championship points. Okay, before we move on, we've got to negotiate our contract. Well, we're going to stay, of course, with Renault until the end of the season. Then we're going to move to McLaren. Yes, McLaren. I almost forgot then. So we're just going to do a few tweaks to our contract just to see if we can get a few more perks in and still be within our value to the team This should be pretty good, I think. Pretty decent. Yes, let's go for just that should do it. Upgrades, we'll go for 2, shall we? Level 2. Level 3, oh my goodness. Come on, Dave. I'm in charge of all this for Fernando, of course. He doesn't bother with all this shite. He just lets me do it all. Yes. Because I'm the team mechanic. Here we go. Is it going to work? Oh, it does. I undersold Mr. Fernando Alonso, unfortunately. Undersold him a little bit, but the negotiation's been successful. So we continue on now. As you can see, yes, Renault are the third from the bottom, and Alfa Romeo are actually right in the middle, so they are way ahead of us. So that's probably the reason why we were having so much trouble with Lucas Weber. As you can see from the car, that it's not too bad on the engine wear, not too bad. Just keep an eye on it. Oh, there's 58% though on the motor generator unit heat. So we may have to sort that out. We may have to put a new one in. Yes, we're going to put that in because we want Fernando Alonso to have a tip-top engine, of course. None of this Honda rubbish. No, none of this Honda rubbish. We need him to have a tip-top engine as we go into the next round of the championship. And the next round is going to be, I'm not quite sure actually, but before we go into that, you can see that Fernando Alonso is currently doing one of those invitational races in a gorgeous, gorgeous Ferrari at the Baku City Circuit. I think that's what it's called, Baku City Circuit. Fantastic for Fernando Alonso. And he completes the invitational race absolutely superbly as always.
Welcome to the only figure of 8 track on the F1 calendar. We're here at Suzuka for qualifying today ahead of the Japanese Grand Prix. It always looked like the kind of track that asks an awful lot of the rear tyres, such as the frequency of low-speed exits.
No matter how good a driver is at managing their throttle application to limit rear slip, they can't always overcome a car that's inherently bad at looking after its rear tyres. Here we have a lot of low-speed corner exits, which means a whole load of energy, heat and tyre wear.
So out we go, we're at Japan. I've just noticed that, it's Japan, and yes, you can see that we're out for our first qualifying run. Maxi Boy Verstappen has currently got pole position with a 1:29. Let's see what fantastic time Fernando Alonso is going to put in as he crosses the line now. Yes, and it is going to be, oh my goodness, 16th position only at the moment in first qualifying run. Wowzers. 16th place. Anyway, a little bit later to qualify, just 2.5 minutes left of it. He's still in 16th position, but can he improve on that as he crosses the line? Well, we hope he can. We hope he can. He's almost a second up though, and yes, it's 12th place. 12th position, fantastic. But is that going to be his final finishing position? Well, we will find out right now, and the answer to that is going to be 13th place. 13th place for the race.
And a very warm welcome to the Japanese Grand Prix, an event that has decided a Drivers' Championship 11 times over the years and has hosted some very memorable races as well. Who can forget Kimi Raikkonen's win from 17th on the grid in 2005, or Kamui Kobayashi's incredible drive to a podium in 2012. 18 corners make up a lap of the incredible figure-of-8 Suzuka circuit, with 10 to the right and 8 to the left, for a distance of 3.6 miles. Average lap speeds around here are fairly quick. If it stays dry, then expect somewhere in the region of 136 miles per hour. And a warm welcome to Anthony Davidson, who's with me in the commentary box today, discussing the new driver lineup. Let's begin by talking about Antonio Giovinazzi. They've just moved to Toro Rosso. How do you think they'll get on?
Well, I think this came as something of a surprise to most of us, but it could end up being a bit of a coup for the team. Getting a driver with experience higher up in the field might just be the boost they need, and I'm sure they'll be a big asset as the team continues to develop their car.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he starts from pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Vettel, Bottas, Romain Grosjean and Leclerc, Raikkonen, Gasly, Butler and Lucas Faber, Ricciardo, Oldtimer, Carlos Sainz and Perez, Albon, Russell, Robert Kubica and Lando Norris. Giovinazzi and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close, and with lights out just moments away.
So once again, the formation lap has finished formatting, and it will soon be time for us to say go, 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 and the 5 lights will be going out. So here we go then. Yes, the next round for the Fernando Alonso career mode is go, go, bloody well go. And away he goes, teammate off the left-hand side. We've got Weber once again directly in front of us in our Alfa Romeo cars. We go into the first turn at Japan. Very, very taut and tight to us. Very, very taut and tight to us. Well, I'm going to go with it because I'm not going to change it now. I'm not going to change it now as we go into turn 1. Oh, yes, he gets through up to 10th place already. He's now just behind Devon Butler. And let's see if we can catch up to the cars in front. Of course, it's very, very tight and twisty as we go through this section in the Japanese circuit. Very, very tight indeed. But he is maintaining position just behind this huge swath of cars in front. This huge wad of cars in front of us. Absolutely incredible scenes as all these cars. But let's see if Fernando Alonso can get past them as he's braking very, very late. He gets right up the gearbox of Devon Butler now, who of course is in the Haas car. Oh, a little bit of contact there with Devon Butler, and he tries to do a switchback. He sneaks down the inside of 2 cars there, almost 3, almost gets Pierre Gasly as well, but he managed to get past 2. I do believe is that Kimi Raikkonen as well, possibly, yes. So up into 8th position now for Fernando Alonso. He's still going for a move on Gasly, I do believe. But he's a little bit ahead of us now, And there's Charles Leclerc once again in that Ferrari as we now go into the gorgeous 130R section of the Grand Prix at Japan. Yes, one of the greatest flat out corners you could, well, hopefully it's flat out. If you get it wrong, you're flat out straight off into the boondocks, off into the right hand side in fact, but hopefully you get through all right. And he did for Fernando Alonso, and he's now still maintaining pace. Oh, look at this, they're scrapping in front. There's Romain Grosjean and Pierre Gasly in, of course, the Red Bull and the Haas respectively, and they're still scrapping with each other. Still 8th position at the moment for Fernando Alonso, and Grosjean is going to the inside on Pierre Gasly. Still very, very carefully to turn 1 because it's very, very tight, and he gets through though. Oh, and now Fernando Alonso's doing a sneaky little move, almost on the grass there a little bit. 2 wheels definitely on the grass for Fernando Alonso. He's still holding on to 8th place, but he is fighting like crazy, and he's still defending against the cars behind, and one of those, of course, is this Alfa Romeo car. Oh my goodness. So here we go then. Look, we've actually got 3 cars now fighting with Fernando Alonso. And we've got, I think there's a Haas behind him. There's another, it's his teammate in the other Renault. Look at this. Absolutely crazy scenes. As Fernando Alonso is definitely still trying to get past this Red Bull in front. I think that's still Pierre Gasly, isn't it? Yes. And he goes for a dive down the inside of Pierre Gasly. Does he get past? Oh, I think so. I think he's got it. Yes, he has. Wowzers. So up another place for Fernando Alonso on the second lap of the Japanese Grand Prix, which incidentally is in Japan. in case you didn't know. As we're about to go down now once again into the 130R complex. Yes, as the sparks go flying over the cars behind. Fantastic sight it is these days to see all those sparks coming out the back of the car. It really adds to the excitement and the drama of Formula 1. No, not really. No, it doesn't really add anything, really, does it? But there you go. So through the final corners now, just about to start lap 3 now of this Grand Prix. And look at that beautiful rearward-facing camera shot looking at the wheel there on the Renault. Fantastic. So yes, into lap 3 now. 7th place for Fernando Alonso. Still chasing Pierre Gasly. Pierre Gasly in that Red Bull. And he's got Kimi Raikkonen behind him in 8th position, of course, in that Alfa Romeo. Yes, Alfa Romeo Sauber, whatever you want to call it these days. I'm not quite sure. You can see that the sun is absolutely, it keeps popping out from behind the clouds. So 1 minute it's cloudy, the next minute it's sunny. It's a very, very good effect, Codemasters. I will give you full marks for that. Because in real life that does happen, that the sun suddenly sneaks behind a cloud and then it comes back out again very, very quickly indeed. Yes, we like that. We like that weather effect. You can keep that for F1 2020. Yes, you can. So coming around the corner now for Fernando Alonso. Still chasing Pierre Gasly. Still chasing. He's in the Haas car now, isn't he? Yes, he's in the Haas car. So we're still chasing him. But is he going to catch up with him? I'm not quite sure. Just going down now this final corner before we go into the absolutely superb 130R once more. There's some pit stalls off to the right hand side, as you can see there. Look, pit stalls. I think that's to do with MotoGP or something, if my memory serves me correctly. Anyway, so we go through this final section now before we have to brake very, very hard into this final chicane, I suppose you'd call it. And we've got the big wheel in the background. Look at that, fantastic. I bet that's great to be on the top of there. And we complete lap 3 now. And Fernando Alonso is still in 7th position at the moment, still chasing Pierre Gasly. As we accelerate forward after lap 6 of the Grand Prix, we've got one car in. I think that's Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. Yes, it is. So I'll be the 6th place now for Fernando Alonso on lap 7 at the moment. Yes, 6th position. Still chasing Pierre Gasly though, and not making much inroads into him, it has to be said at the moment. As we accelerate forward now to lap 7, well, it's time for Fernando Alonso to come in for his pit stop. So he pits from 6th position, 6th place. There's a Ferrari just going out there. I think that was Sebastian Vettel. And we change the tyres now from the super soft onto the soft tyre. This is actually, of course, the hard tyre for F1 2019. And we're going to rejoin now, thinking, oh, he's out the points. He's out the points. He rejoins in 12th position on lap 8 for Fernando Alonso. He's still ahead of Weber, behind Antonio Giovinazzi now. Yes, wowzers. Absolute wowzers. As we accelerate forward now, still on lap 8. Still chasing the cars in front. Oh, and teammates in the pit, so it looks like he's going to gain a few positions. And Devon Butler is out of the session. Well, and so is Carlos Sainz. Oh my goodness, they're dropped off like flies. But where is the safety car? Where is the safety car that Codemasters promised us? Well, it's not there, everyone. It's not there. Because once again, I've been going through these races and there's just no safety car. Even though Codemasters promised us that we wouldn't have to restart the game and the safety car would just sort of mould itself around us. From the latest patch, but it hasn't because there's just no safety car. And there's Pierre Gasly, and Fernando Alonso tried to go past, but Pierre Gasly has the outside line, but this time Fernando Alonso sneaks down the inside and gets up into 6th position now. Yes, 6th place for Fernando Alonso. As we accelerate forward now, this is lap 12 of the Grand Prix. He's managed to catch up to the back of Sebastian Vettel in the Ferrari. Wowzers. Fantastic performance once again from Fernando Alonso, but can he get past Sebastian Vettel? And he sends it in there. He sends it in there on Vettel, does a dive bomb, and yes, managing to get up into 5th place now. He's in the middle of a Ferrari sandwich. He gets a little bit of a warning for that from Ferrari, or should I say the team principal of whoever's running the FIA at Japan. I don't know. Anyway, Max Verstappen has won the race, as you can see, and we are going to cross the line for Fernando Alonso in 5th place. Fantastic result once again, and more points on the board for our championship campaign. Well done, Fernando. Well done indeed. So there you go then. Just about to cross the line. And he finishes in 5th place. Fantastic. Fantastic indeed. So onto the podium once again. There is Christian Horner with that frightening haircut. That frightening haircut. And look, he's losing all the bits in his side. I don't know what's going on there. Sort it out, Codemaster. Sort it out. And there's, of course, the race winner. It's Maxi Boy Verstappen. And there's the team mechanics. And there's Arava, who looks pretty much like he does now because he hasn't got his glasses on. He's got contacts. Yes, contacts. Got lots of contacts as Arava. Yes.
Here come today's winners.
God. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on to the podium celebration. There's Maxi Boy. And there's his car. And there's his trophy to say that he's won the race. Lulu only finished in 3rd place. Champagne time, everyone. Champagne time. Fantastic. Fantastic indeed. So anyway, let's go to one of those famous F1 2019 blank screens for about 30 seconds. I have sent a tweet to Mr. Lee Matthew about this. You see this? Far too many black screens in F1 2019. Anyway, as you can see, there's the race results. Fernando Alonso finished in 5th place. 10 World Championship points, of course, to add to his campaign. As you can see from the standings now, that Fernando Alonso is now in 7th place with 84 World Championship points. Lewis Hamilton out in the lead with 326. Wowzers. And we'll just look at the constructors now. I'd just like to say thanks so much for watching, everyone. You've been awesome as always. And as always, there will, of course, be more later.